Happy independence to to every one of us. Even though our discussion today is simply uh, independent yet dependent. It's
Yeah.
very pathetic and it's somehow, but like I told us, if we keep talking about problems, of course, even people that are not in Nigeria, they also have their own stories as far as the country is concerned. So, but will it continue like that? Is that how it will continue? And if people don't rise up, it will continue like that. And that's the truth. So, people need to rise up. And in rising up, it entails that we play our part. So many people, I hear a story, they said, what do you want to do that others have not done before? So there's no fight you want to fight now that people have not fought before for the sake of the country. So, but I don't believe that others are tried and they are not successful, and that we are still where we are. That would be enough to give up. No. So we can also play our part, and in a way to playing our part, we learn from the past. Those people that have ever tried to ensure that we have a great nation. What are the things they did right that we can also emulate, and what were the things that they did also that were not okay that we will avoid? So I believe this will go a long way to making us to have an edge over them. And as a person, I've always believed that building up a country or a nation entails responsibility. I've always also believed that anything good can become bad if people choose to become irresponsible. If a system uh, changed from irresponsibility to responsibility, of course, that is tending toward a better, it's going to land in a better direction. So that means anything bad also can become good if people rise up. But if people choose not to rise up, of course, that situation will remain. So, and that's what warrants our movement. I said it that it is not a religious movement, it is not a cultural or tribal movement, it's strictly a nation building movement where like minded people who also believe that, who yearn one day that, I hope to see a great and better Nigeria. I hope to see a country that can be called a home, where everybody will be well celebrated and everybody will have a sense of belonging. So, and that also made me to declare that we are looking for good people. If good people, if they are in the church, we are looking for them. If they are in the mosque, we are looking for them. So it's just good people, people who have a good heart for the country. So we are not a movement to castigate the government. We are not a movement to talk against anybody. Uh, we have been hearing that for long. There are so many non-governmental organizations doing that already, NGOs. But we are strictly gonna be we are for solution. We are for solution, and so that should guide our discussion. What issues? How do we provide solution for it? And that is where this movement is on. We've started it. We've had Zoom meetings where we've uploaded some of those meetings on YouTube and the likes, but we are taking it a bit more than what we have before. And of course, if you check the space now, we are just three that are on the space currently. It tells us what lies ahead. And that's one of the great work we need to embrace. Even when we have a Zoom meeting where we'll have a kind of some publicity, you discover that you still have people less than 10, 15 joining. So that's one of the things I will be sharing. How do we maximize the social media space so that these our movements can be there? So it's going to be one of the action points we will discuss today. So we are welcome. I don't know if you have anything to say, Mr. Toy, before I lay down some of those things I have here, while we also contribute and say one or two things as people join the space later.
Okay. I think our main talk should be based on the points that you are going to present or that we are going to talk about. So once those points are being laid down, then we can now, from there, we will try to profile solutions and what we think we can do as a nation. And we will look at where the problem starts from as well. And I think the solution to them. If we are lucky and we have enough people to join, all of us can actually learn from this. And from there, the movement is going to start making sense. I think that's what I have to say.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. If you actually check the topic for today, the point of our conversation, we said the neo-colonial Nigeria. That means people that seem to have had their independence from their colonial master, but somehow they are still depending on them for their survival. So, and this dependence is not just about, it's not direct, but, economic wise, technological wise, and name them. We are still being enslaved. So, and that's what bring about this topic. So, thank you. I will outline now. Of course, I haven't thought of some of those things before. I'll bring about the first thing I want us to. I have like up to 6 or 7 to 9 points or 10 precisely. So I want us to be attentive so that we can contribute later. So the first one that number one, our movement is going to be pragmatic enough that whatever things we are outlining, there must be an action point and how we are going to follow up. So let's just take note of that. So I've understand that this country now, a lot of people are very just me, myself, and my family. We are full of selfish interest. So we have to move away from that kind of mindset, and our movement we bring about developing ethical and visionary leaders. So that's one of the main things we are going to be focusing on. So we'll be developing ethical and visionary leaders. These are the people that we ensure, of course, it's going to start from us, no doubt. But a country without vision or direction, of course, they are not going anywhere. And it is only people that have vision, that have direction, that can give direction to others. So that's why I see this as one of the most important, if not the most important. I've checked that from other developed countries. For example, China, they have what is called Chinese Dream as frontlined by their party, Chinese Communist Party. Then, if you move to America, of course, they have their own American Dream. So somehow, a nation that have one kind of this will always have a direction, and they can track their progress over time. So, but I've never heard the dream or the vision of of Nigeria. So we have to raise a generation of Nigerian leaders who serve the people first and lead with integrity. So that is a vision under developing ethical and visionary leaders. So, which means leadership development programs where we are going to be identifying passionate young individuals, like in schools which can be from secondary schools, from colleges of education, polytechnics, universities. We take advantage of that. From communities, there are youth in various communities. Of course, they have various platforms that it will even help us, where they have youth leaders in various communities. So those platforms, we can harness them. Then also religious groups. There are groups in various religions in this country now, religious society in this country, where we can also harness. Somehow, no matter the groups anybody fall into, all of us, we yearn to have a good and a working Nigeria. So it become easy. That's why I say that we are not it's not a religious something. We are just strictly the progress or having a better country that all of us can celebrate, all of us can be proud of. So in raising this type of visionary leaders, we need to develop programs so that we can identify them in these various arms that I've mentioned now: schools, communities, religious societies. Okay, so when we do that, we now even we can create a leadership boot camps where we develop mentorship programs and have our own form of a way of teaching them governance, ethics, and nation first principles. Okay, so and that's what I believe, that it will go a long way to having a mind, a paradigm shift from what we have now, where many of us are very selfish. We just believe that when I'm okay, I don't care about the masses. So in developing ethical and visionary leaders, I also believe that we must create a culture of accountability. So that means we have two legs there now: leadership development programs, one, where we identify young individuals that are passionate in schools, communities, and religious groups. Then we must create also a culture of accountability. One of the things that is very much rampant in this country now is that we've lost sense of accountability. People don't trust anybody. So, and you are not going to blame them, because the system, that's what the system has given us. So, and that's why it becomes difficult to win people's trust currently. So, but it's a problem. So, but it can be solved. So that's why we need to create a culture of accountability. And this is going to encourage open dialogue about leadership and responsibility. So meaning that we must continue to host something like nation building discussions. So, and this will challenge the young ones as to make them think critically about governance, about accountability, and we must have a program to reward people that's also going to be uh, putting all those things to work. So even I thought of it that if this movement grow, as this movement grow, because whatever we expect from others, the template must be with us. I want envisage where we have our platform, like to solve the problem of accountability in this country. We can take advantage of technology, for example. So I've envisaged a program where we have an app that these are movements. We have an app. If you are talking about finance now, let's say I will use money for example, although it's not limited to that. Uh, we already have an app where if every youth, let's say we have 50,000 youths, for example, and our aim is that for a year, each youth should donate 100, just 1K for a year. Then this app, everything is there. If you register with the app, you are going to be seeing whatever that comes in a real time. So if anybody put anything there, it will reflect in the app that you are on. You will know whatever amount that is there. So, by all means, it keeps because we need to beat that trend of not believing, not trusting ourselves. So, and I believe that we can take advantage of that technology in doing that. So there's no need to hide anything from anybody. Of course, we are not interested in accumulating anything, any nonsense, something. No, we are talking about leaders that believe in the people first, and that's warrant them to be a high level people of integrity. So, and integrity is not by saying I have integrity. Integrity is something that it become obvious. So that is one of these are the two things that we must consider in developing ethical and visionary leaders. So it's very paramount, and I have to make it as number one. Number one, where we don't have vision, people are going to perish. And because this country, we don't have direction. People just do what they like. Our leaders are like, child. They don't have direction. So we cannot, nobody can vow and say this is the vision of this country, Nigerian dream. Nobody knows it. So everybody just go there and do what they like. So our movements seek to come up with a dream that is going to involve everybody. Okay, so that's one of the things that we are going to come up with, and in doing that, of course, it's around that leadership development programs where we're going to identify passionate young individuals from schools, communities, religious groups, and the likes. And then we're also going to create a culture of accountability, and that's why I am also vying that we have people, tech key people to join the team, so that anything we want to get done, people that are very good in that would delegate it to them, they get it done. And this is a movement that it's around sacrifice. Like I said earlier, we are just 4 now currently. We hope that others will join, and it tells a lot of the challenge currently, where people don't care. They are thinking that is a challenge. What concern me? What is the big deal? I beg, let me go and find out on how I'm going to make it. Some will even tell you that Nigeria can never be better. So, but we are not going to blame them. So, but if good people did not rise up, the evils will continue. That one is a sure banker. So, but when we have a massive amount of people that are good, that I want the country to be better, then of course those evil ones, they will be subdued. So, and that's why I start with the leadership things. So I don't know if I can move on or we talk on that one first. Mr. Atoib, can I move on?
I think we should move on. Let's.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Are you there now? Okay, so I'm going to move on while uh, we try to reconnect back. But I want us to uh, be jotting something so that we can really contribute when the time comes. So now I haven't talked about the need for raising or developing ethical and visionary leaders. Then I'm going to talk about fostering unity through shared national identity. Now, one of the most important and uh, pragmatic issue in Nigeria currently is that uh, politicians play the card of divide and rule. So, and there is no way we can have a Nigeria or a country that we can call a home where everybody is celebrated, where everybody is allowed uh, to taste greatness, except we have a shared national identity. So, a vision we are going to be frontlining is a unified Nigeria where people take pride in their shared identity. So, it's very important. Regardless of their background, people should have a sense of, yeah, this is where I come from. This is my country. So, in doing that, of course, we must have a campaign, national unity campaign. So this movement is going to also take advantage of social media. So through outreaches, like I told some people, I said we'll have some outreaches also where we'll reach out to schools, to communities across the nation. Okay, and then when we reach out, even through telling, and a lot of them, what we're going to be doing in this is that we're going to be celebrating our cultural diversity as our strength. There's unity in diversity. So our differences is not the reason why we should be more divided. Many people see this as, since we are too different, that's why we cannot be together. But it's not true. It is never true that way. Diversity is a strength, not a tool for division. So we must have a massive campaign on that. And I'm of the opinion that there are systems in place now where, our school systems, where some people say this is a catchment environment and this and that. So some of these tools are actually, they support division regardless of where you come from. If we are all treated as one, although there will still be some people that will have regard for maybe some less challenge, some region that will believe that, oh, it's less challenge. But that one will know that, yes, not something like, if you are in this region, you have some levels of opportunity more than this region, this and that. These are the things that have make people to be far apart rather than coming together. So our movement has to foster unity through a shared national identity. Okay, so let's take note of that, and it entails that we celebrate diversity, okay, as a strength and not a form of division. That somebody is a Muslim does not mean that we cannot relate together. No, that somebody is not my tribe does not mean that we cannot work together. No, but the system we have on ground now, the template we have on ground now, support all those things. So our movement must consciously devise a means to ensure that these things has no place. If we can make it to have no place, then of course we are going to win that war. In Singapore, for example, when Singapore was going to become a nation after from India and Malaysia, they have a lot of they have more than 3 tribes there too. In fact, they speak Chinese, they speak Malay, okay, and there's other colonial people there, the British people. So now, when the British people left there, that the prime minister, who was their leader at that time, Lee Kuan Yew. So the man ensured that anything, one tribe or one language does not come to limelight. And that really affected Singapore positively. And that's why Singapore is one of the most developed, advanced, and peaceful nation up to today. So he said that then, according to him, that there were tendencies of making Chinese language the lingua franca, because they have the numbers of people that speak Chinese were more. But if he has done that, that will have caused a lot of havoc for the progress of the country. So what the man did was to ensure that English was a no man's language. So he made it the lingua franca. And those people speaking their language, he didn't relegate them also. He only ensured that he gave them incentives, that if you send your child to English-speaking university, there are incentives on that. And before you know it, Malay people will send their word there, Chinese people will send their word. So now they have now become interdependent. So no one will say, I don't want to. Before you know, it also spring forth intermarriages. So, and it literally killed the mindset that I'm from Chinese Society of Singapore, you are from Malay Society of Singapore. Everybody sees themselves as Singaporean. So we must have that as part of our movement. And this also means that we are going to be taking on peace building initiatives. So National Unity Campaign, under this fostering unity through shared identity, then we also have peace building initiatives. So we must ensure or we establish community peace programs. So where people from different backgrounds can come together to dialogue, to resolve conflicts, work towards shared goals. Okay? And so that means that the youth leaders, you see that this our movement now is going to entail that we work through diverse channels. You see that I've been mentioning community leaders, especially the youth, schools, religious groups. These are the avenue where we know, because we must solve our problem based on our peculiarities. We cannot use the template of China to solve our problem. It's not going to work. So that's why we are crafting out the destiny of the type of country we want. And so we must ensure that we follow our own template. This country now, like in Lagos here now, for example, I tell people that Lagos already have a template that they can take governance down to the grassroots, because the CDA is working perfectly. So if you want to award any contract, any project to any region, they have CDAs there already. So you can liaise with the CDAs. This is the contractor. This is the type of project that we've awarded. So it's left for you to hold the contractor, accountable to ensure that nothing less is done except the specification. You see now, is it security wise? So the CDAs also, you could meet them. We want you to enjoy the dividends of democracy. So what are your challenges? They too will meet their local authority to tell them this is our challenge. So nobody will just come and bring project that has no impact on them. You see, so the same way we take advantage of those channels to ensure that we foster unity through shared identity. Okay, so national unity campaigns, peace building initiatives, and these were around that we take advantage of channels such as youth leaders, okay, to either mediate conflict and also to promote unity among the local communities. So for no reason should there be a communal conflict. It still it happens in Nigeria, in Africa, but you hardly hear that in a developed country where two villages will be fighting, or two different communities will be fighting, or different clans will be fighting. So these are the things we must put into our movement. Okay. Then we must ensure that we strengthen youth in governance and participation, local governance and participation. Now, I've one thought of something that if we really put up a good channel up, let's say in our outreach, we are reaching out to school in Agege, for example, in Lagos here. Then, because we already have direction that we are raising them, and then we are putting them, we are telling them what we want. Now, if you get to a school, let's say we get like 2-3 people that are more interested in the movement, then we take their details, we add them to our database. They will be our representative for that school. Let's say in Agege local government, for example, we move around to up to 100 schools, and we're able to get 2 per schools. That is 200 already. So in the whole of Agege local government, so we have a system, a channel for them. And now we have 777 thereabout local governments in Nigeria. So let's say we have footprints in each of these local governments. Let's say we have 100. Now, in each local government, we can reach them. If you want to reach Akwanga local government in Nasarawa state. We can easily reach them. So now we now have a joint, a state-wise, from local government wise. Even from that local government wise, we can still create a channel that makes it to be easier for communication. So from that grassroots, local government, state, region, national, then we synchronize our data system that if we pass any announcement now, right now, everybody will get it. So there, the reason why that will be wonderful is that so that people will not be doing what they like from the center, because that's what we are talking about, visionary leadership. So if you don't provide the direction, people will come and mar this movement, like we have seen it in the time past from our forefathers. People once want a better for the country, a better country, but somehow those movements were being hijacked because these details were not put in place. So nobody will be able to hijack our movement and say, okay, it's now one tribal something. No. So, but for us to ensure that this is not hijacked, so we must put a very interesting communication and feedback something. And that's why I said that we must keep on leveraging on technology. You see, that we will not be able to do this thing effectively without technology. So it's become easy. Even with technology now, we can get this problem solved. Okay? So I think that is that. And there are still more things, but I will say one more, then I will give room for us to talk. So, okay, two more, please. I'll give room for us to talk after these two more. So the next one is we are now going to establish a long-term strategic plans. A long-term strategic plans. Now, that means that a Nigeria with a clear, accountable plan for the future, actionable plan, I mean, very clear and actionable plan for the future. So our movement will bring it up. That means we are going to create a 10-year vision plan, okay, where we bring together leaders from across sections to help develop a comprehensive 10 years plan. So that's why people that have great mind, they are the one. I said something earlier. I said we are looking for good people. If good people, they can be found in the church, we are looking for them. If they can be found in the mosque, we are looking for them. So we are looking for good people. People that their thinking is out of this world. So from there, when we gather ourselves together like that, of course, this is not just going to be virtual something. As it metamorphoses, it becomes something we have to meet 2 or 3 days, of course, just business like-minded. Okay, and that's why I told us earlier that this is not a movement to castigate anybody. It's not a movement to say carry play card, we no go agree. No, this is a movement where we are tired of complaining about the problem, and then we are ready to contribute our quota of sacrifice. Okay, we don't lose anything. For example, attempting to build a nation, we don't lose anything, and we can start it now. It may not be that we will be the one that will end it, but the starting point is very important, and it may be also. So, but what matters is we start a process, and then we ensure that process become sustainable. Okay, and so that's warrants these points that I stated now. We must establish a strategic long-term plan. Very important. And that means we have a 10-year vision plan. And I stated that different people in fact, if as you have it the way I want it, I will say that this plan is going to cut across up to 200 and something tribe that we have in this country, for example. But we may not get that, and we cannot afford to wait till that time. So what we do is that as many like-minded and critically straightforward minds, we'll get them together, and then we craft out that type of long-time vision. Okay. Now, I stated something during that election time. I was telling some people then. I said, you cannot just come now and say you want to cross institution that these guys have built over a long period of time. You can't cross the institution they built over a long period. It took time. Institution, that's what we are fighting now. That's what we want to fight now. So it's not something that we just wake up today and we want it done tomorrow. No. So it's something that requires a long time. We call it law of time perspectives. So it requires a long time. And in the process of this timing, of course, it's time that actually make difference in life. Whatever you want to get cultivated, whether business or life, it is time. Somebody can just say, yeah, I'm a very disciplined person, but give it time. You will know whether it's disciplined or not. I'm a very good person. Give it time. You will know whether it's a good person or not. So in the process of time, so we'll be able to know. Okay, I will know whether that plan can be stress test. Those of us in civil, or thank God we have one in the house. Okay, so 10 years plan for now, and that will cut across even politically and all manners of things. Okay, so that is that, and we must track the progress in this period. We track progress. It's very important. And what do? We monitor, we evaluate, we modulate. These are the things we do in this process of time. Okay, then finally, number 14, we must stay committed to the vision. Commitment is key. So that means a Nigeria that rises to greatness through continuous effort and unity. So it's not a hit and run something. It's not something, okay, maybe some guys now, maybe I've communicated with them before, like 2-3 years ago. But some of them, they also had the passion before. But now, they are now in UK. Some are in somewhere else. Somehow, they've lose the kind of passion, the zest they once possessed about the country. So they too, they've seen that, oh man, guy, this country, only God. Some of them have jackpot. That's why in the channel on WhatsApp, I say this is not a jackpot movement. Of course, if you have privileged people that have opportunity abroad, why not? You can be in abroad, and some people are abroad and their hearts, man, is still. In fact, there's nobody in abroad. No matter what they've done, maybe they sold everything they have and left. Each time they hear that the country is doing well, there's something in them that is rejoicing. So I've had experience very well with people abroad there. So when they see themselves, they don't claim you are from the east, you are from the west. No, they see themselves as Nigerian, and when they see themselves, there's a joy. So that means that everybody there still believe there's something in them that is still saying, oh man, I wish my country is better. I wish my country to be better. So regardless of the location, we only need people that have heart and passion. We can work together. So that is that. So we must stay committed to the vision. We must hold regular meetings where our plans are being unraveled, regular online and on-site meetings. This is essential to keep on the momentum. So, and these meetings will use to encourage, motivate, re-strategize, and then we must keep involving passionate individuals from different regions. So that's why I want, part of the things that I believe that we will live here with is that in any of these our platform now, we are hoping to have 1,000 follower where we can be communicating, and just like a benchmark, we are setting a goal already, and then we are all out for it, so that in the next meeting, whether it's going to be WhatsApp or Telegram, then it's become better than this. So and that is actionable plan I told us before. So then holding regular meetings, regular online and on-site, where we encourage, motivate, re-strategize, and keep communicating to every one of us. Then we build networks. We continue to set up structures. Like I stated earlier, I gave us an insight on if you go to schools, for example. That's how it's going to be. If you get to secondary school, from there we go to colleges of education. From there we go to polytechnics. As we are making this movement, these outreaches, we are setting structures that it becomes impossible for anybody who doesn't have the complex mind we have, who is just being trickish. He will not be able to break us. And that's why I keep saying that one of the advantages that we young people we have now is our complex mind. We are techy, we are smart, we are intelligent. Those our old people, they are just crooked. That's their own. They are very crooked. That's the truth. So, and the generation of today will be better than generation of tomorrow, of yesterday. That's how it is. The generation of tomorrow, they are ordained to be better than generation of today. So when we take advantage of all these systems, it will be impossible for them to break us. And remember that we are not concerned about them. They are not our problem. In fact, I believe that as the movement continues, we'll take up, we say, okay, we want to establish maybe an agricultural revolution. And then from our movement, we are not selling anybody. Oh yeah, we set up a factory, we set up something, either a farm, for example, from our movement. And this must be accountable. That's why I talk about having an app, for example, where whatever comes in, for example, financially, those people involved can track it themselves. So it becomes easy. When these things are open, accountability, people believe in the system, then it becomes easier to want to commit whatever they have into it. So a recap of what I've discussed today that I believe that we are going to work with. We talk about raising or developing visionary leadership, and that means it entails that we go around those schools, communities, religious groups, where we harness people that are passionate about building a great Nigeria. Then we bring them together. We develop them by having a series of programs, leadership programs, where we talk about governance, okay, and the ethics and nation first principles. So these are the things we communicate to them. And anything we are looking for that is not available can be built. You are looking for good leaders. Good leaders are not everywhere. What do? Create it. We can build it ourselves. And that is when we have a long time perspective. We are not looking for something that it is now. The country is bad. We know already. So, and it's not yesterday it started. Started since independent. That, like I stated now, that independent but yet dependent. So it has, according to our English in Nigeria, it has stayed. It's not now. So any problem, any solution we are also profiling, we must have a long time perspectives, but with a rugged commitment of consistency. We must not have ability to give up if we really, really hope But I tell you that if he can continue in it, because countries like China, how many years? Within a space of 30 years. Within a space of 30, it was not even up to 30 years. Even the Singapore that I cited as an example, within a space of 15 to 20 years, consistently, good leadership with vision and all these things I've outlined, the country becomes wonderful. There have been countries like that. So it doesn't really take time. It's just a test of time. How can we be so commitment on unbroken commitment for a period of time? People begin to believe in the system, something that is working. Okay, this thing looks promising. Okay, let me come and invest in it. So that is that about visionary uh, leaders. Then I talk about fostering unity through shared identity. We have only one identity. That is what we must propagate. Only one. So we don't want to care where you come from. We don't want to care. And like I always stated, that it will get to a point where all these three tribes in Nigeria, it will just be like a mere formality. It will not be something that will be considering much. Yeah. So, and that's how we can win that pride of being a Nigerian. Not that I'm from this, I'm from that. So we must promote that, and we must we must cultivate campaigns that will bring about that shared national identity. And that also entails that we build peace building initiatives. Okay. Then I talk about strengthening local governance and participations. So we must do that. And I also talk about long-term strategic plan. Okay, in the next 10 years, what is our plan as a movement? What do we want to get achieved politically, educational, this thing wise? Okay, so and this entails that we have to gather a lot of critical, positive thinking individuals across all board, that they will sit down and coin this thing out. Okay, and then it becomes our template. Then finally I say we'll track the progress. And then finally I say we must stay committed to the vision. That means we must keep holding regular meetings, whether online and on site, as the case may be. And we must continue to also build network. This entails that we set structures. So structures, systems, they are the things that will lead to building a great institutions. So, and these are the things we are going to inculcate. So these are the few things I have to say. On the Telegram platform, I'm going to send some things there later. So, but I want us to talk. So thank you for listening, and I wait everyone's contribution. Yeah, we can talk now. Mr. Toiba, are you there? Okay. It appears I think the network on the end of Mr. Toib and Mr. Emmanuel too. So, what we're going to do now is that we are going to ensure that we follow. I mean, we go back to our Telegram and our channel on WhatsApp. Okay, so where we are going to be communicating our our plans. Okay, now we are also going to be ensuring that we follow up. Okay, so a document will be posted there. So we have what it takes now to ensure that uh, we follow up and take this our channel or our social media campaign to the next level. So, and this movement now, the stage we are now, so we require people or young people that can maneuver the social media platforms, the metaverse. Okay, so that whether we are going to take advantage of of the Nigerian skill. What do we call it now? The talent, of course, yes. So, and you know that we are very good in making creating skits in this country, for example. So all those things on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, all those things, we are going to take advantage of that. And so that means that as many of our colleagues that will believe that they are techie, so let them join us now. Okay, so and those people that are also lawyers somehow. So across all walks of life, where there is vacancy. So vacancy, I think that's what we'll do now. Vacancy exists in this our movement now. So vacancy exists in this our movement. So, so between now and let's say December. So on our Telegram, we are supposed to be able to hit 5K on the Telegram. So let's make it like that. So Mr. Toib, you are back now, Abi. Mr. Toib. You can talk now. Okay.
People, other listeners who have gone offline, probably maybe because of the network.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you
But
were talking about the Telegram and the other channel that we can continue the movement from there.
yeah. So I was saying
Okay.
that we can now have a form of plan now to between now and December that okay, we want to get to 5,000 uh uh on that channel. 5,000 people should be on that channel. Then
Okay.
we now need to take advantage of our skit making ability as a Nigerian. So whereas we need people that make skits, volunteers in all works, so that we can take the campaign to a massive stage. So that is it. Assuming we are able to suggest and the rest, I think it will be good. How we go about that?
Since we have other, since there is other platform for us to to meet, I think that could be shared from the platform as long.
Your network is off.
Can you hear me? Can
There
you
was
hear
a
me, bro?
breakage. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
hearing you now.
I was saying that so long we have other platforms that we can actually get to meet each other, I think this suggestion should pass down over there. And from there, we give an avenue for people who can volunteer or who have one or two persons that can do all this for us.
Okay.
Then from there, we can proceed. I understand the fact that we need speed and stuff because that's what actually is trending now.
Mm.
It's one of the most important things that we need as a group. As it is an
Okay.
highly welcome idea.
Mm.
So that's what I have to say on that.
Yeah. No. Okay. There's no. I think we we are just like maybe under 20 people who have joined already there. So it's now boils down to the way we engage there now, and so I'll drop those these things I try to bring out to explain. So I'll drop some of those things there so that we can read it and and come up with ideas and especially how we can reach out to people until we are able to get to the numbers, at least certain numbers, which we know. The more people we have, of course, the more ideas we will get, and the more better it will be. So even though I'm just bringing out some of these points now, it become easy when we have more people. You will hear with wonderful suggestions. So I'm sure that it will go a long way. So thank you for joining. And I've sent you the link already on the Telegram for the Telegram. Have you joined the are you there? Ah,
But I don't know
so
why
the
it is
network
why
there
the network
is
choose this night to be bad.
okay, no problem. I was just saying that I've sent you the link already on Telegram for the Telegram.
Okay. I think
So
I've joined on Telegram. I've joined. I have sent the request to join.
okay, okay. So no problem.